People, listen up. The modern crossover is a myth. It's the emperor's new clothes. Take this car, the 2019 Nissan Kicks. It's designed to appeal to shoppers looking for cargo room and a little extra ride height, but most shoppers looking at the Kicks will be just as satisfied with the compact hatchback. Yet for some reason, throw a little extra plastic around the wheel wells and call it a crossover, and it receives an instant boost in appeal. Hi, I'm George Kennedy for CarGurus, and we reviewed the Kicks last year. Back then, I praised it for being a little more honest about what it was and what it was not compared to other crossovers. Yet, flash forward 1 year later, and I'm not sure I can continue to recommend the Kicks compared to more conventional hatchbacks like the Volkswagen Golf. Okay, so what do I like about the Kicks? Well, I dig this color called Monarch Orange. It works great in this two-tone theme. And I like that it has 53 cubic feet of cargo space with the rear seats folded. That's better than some of its direct competition like the Mazda CX-3, but about the same as the Honda HR-V and Subaru Crosstrek. But it's also the same as the lower riding Golf. The lesson? A higher ride height does not always equal more cargo space. The base trim for the Kicks is the S trim. It comes standard with a 7-inch touchscreen, Bluetooth connectivity, Siri eyes free, and even standard automatic emergency braking. It also comes standard with 3 USB ports, 1 in the front and 2 down here behind the cup holders, so you can access them from any seat in the car. Speaking of the seats, they're pretty uncomfortable, and it's nearly impossible to find a normal driving position. The fronts are 6-way manually adjustable seats, no matter the trim. There's no optional power driver's seat. On the plus side, the rear seats are pretty spacious for a car this size. If you are considering the Kicks, CarGurus recommends the SV trim, which we're driving today. It adds 17-inch alloy wheels, push-button and remote start, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It also adds this helpful half-digital instrument panel. So you get a lot of content with an MSRP that starts at just over $20,000. The SR trim is a little more expensive, but it adds unique touches to the side mirror and front grille. It also adds LED headlights, a rear spoiler, and fog lights. Inside, the SR trim adds a 360-degree camera and the availability of navigation. The Kicks is powered by a 1.6-liter 4-cylinder engine. It makes, wait for it, 122 horsepower. And somehow it even has less torque at just 114 pound-feet. Power gets sent through a continuously variable transmission to the front wheels. And that's it. It doesn't even offer all-wheel drive. And we've seen this front-wheel drive only approach before with cars like the Toyota CHR and Kia Niro. And I get there are parts of the country where you don't need all-wheel drive. But to not even offer it as an option, well, that almost makes a mockery of the notion of a sport utility vehicle. And yeah, you sit a little bit higher off the ground, but outside of that added ground clearance, they don't offer any capability that you can't find in a basic hatchback. As for the acceleration, it's okay at very low speeds, like when you're accelerating from a stop. But when you're cruising along and need to pass someone or merge onto the highway, the Kicks makes a lot of noise without going anywhere fast. I'm sure you may hear the criticism and say, yeah, well, what do you expect? It's not a sports car. But speed can serve as a safety feature in some situations. Say if you're getting up to speed on a highway, trying to jet across a busy intersection, or trying to enter a really busy rotary. A car needs enough power to get out of its own way, especially in the presence of, well, shall we say, more adequately powered vehicles. As for the car's steering, it's pretty unpredictable. It seems to have a different level of weight and responsiveness each time I begin to turn. And no, I don't mean it has speed variable steering like you might find on some luxury cars. I literally mean you don't know what you're going to get when you start steering left or right. And we haven't even gotten to the suspension and ride quality. The Kicks has all sorts of body roll and turns, and yet somehow it remains too stiff. You can feel every crack and pebble in the pavement. The best thing I can say about driving the Kicks is that it has strong direct brakes, which is bizarre because it has unsophisticated rear drum brakes. I'm telling you, this car is a piece of work. Fuel economy estimates for the Kicks are 31 miles per gallon city, 36 highway, 33 combined. I was able to hit that number, getting 33.1 miles per gallon in a week of combined city and highway driving. Impressively, the Kicks come standard with forward collision warning and avoidance. It joins the usual assortment of front and side impact airbags, a reversing camera, and the tire pressure monitoring system. Moving up to our SV trim adds blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. Base MSRP for the 2019 Nissan Kicks is $18,540. Our SV test model starts at $20,250, and the SR costs $20,870. That means every Kicks is priced low enough to get your attention. And sure, it's got decent cargo space and good fuel economy, but these things only make it attractive on paper. Spend any real time with the Kicks, and these attractive benchmarks will seem just like the results of a heavily compromised vehicle. If you want something with cargo space that's actually fun to drive, check out the Volkswagen Golf or Honda Fit. The Golf has 53 cubic feet of cargo space and returns 34 mpg on the highway. The Fit, 52.7 cubic feet, 40 mpg, and starts at just $16,000. And if you're interested in the ground clearance of the Kicks because you think it'll make it a more capable vehicle in more challenging driving situations, just remember that the Subaru Crosstrek comes standard with all-wheel drive, and the Jeep Renegade can actually handle itself on trails, especially in the Trailhawk trim. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to see more videos, like our review on one of the closest competitors to the Kicks, the Toyota CHR. If you think the Kicks can fit your needs, or you could probably live with a hatchback like the Volkswagen Golf, let us know in the comments. And to read my full review on the 2019 Nissan Kicks, go to CarGurus.com.